Not gonna lie, the world is kind of funny when you actually stop and think about it. Like we spend most of our lives running from one thing to the next, taking everything super seriously. But if you pause for even a minute, the things we do every day are just bizarre. For example, you're probably sitting there breathing right now without even thinking about it. But now that I mentioned it, you're doing it on purpose. Weird, right? And blinking? Same thing. You do it thousands of times a day automatically, but if you start thinking about it, suddenly it's this very strange, deliberate action. And time itself, don't even get me started. We track it in hours, minutes, seconds, but the Earth is spinning, revolving, and hurtling through space at unimaginable speeds while we're just sitting here, complaining about being 5 minutes late. Imagine how small that makes our problem seem, or how strange it is that for every person alive today, there are roughly 15 people who have died before you even took your first breath. It's wild, absolutely wild. Though yeah, life is weird, and I promise the more you look at it closely, the more it'll blow your mind. Did you know the human population has doubled in just the last 50 years, but it took nearly 2 million years to reach 3.7 billion in 1971? For every person alive today, there are about 15 people who've already lived and died. And time zones are wild. 2 babies can be born at the exact same second, yet one might already have a birthday in a different year. Your body is just as bizarre. Your brain controls your heart, and your heart keeps your brain alive, all while you barely notice anything happening. Every second your eyes blink, your blood flows, and your body is quietly doing thousands of processes you'll never see. Meanwhile, the Earth is moving through space at incredible speeds, orbiting the Sun, while the Sun orbits the center of the galaxy, and our galaxy drifts toward Andromeda. Every moment, you are in a place in space you've never been before and will never be again. And language? Don't even get me started. Words are just symbols we all agree on, but some are insanely specific, some disappear, and some are almost impossible to pronounce. Meanwhile, clapping is just giving a high five to someone else's effort, and knocking on a door is literally punching a house until it pays attention. Okay, here's a fun one. Your tongue. Right now, it's probably touching the roof of your mouth. Try moving it anywhere else. It just doesn't feel right, does it? Weird, right? And blinking. I know I mentioned it before, but seriously, try blinking on purpose a few times. Suddenly it feels like a conscious decision instead of something automatic. You're welcome for ruining your day a little bit. Or think about walking. Every step you take is basically you losing balance, catching yourself, and repeating it 1,000 times until you get where you're going. And knocking on a door? That's literally just punching someone's house until it decides to acknowledge you. Clapping, that's giving yourself a high five on someone else's hard work. Mind blown. Even everyday objects are kind of funny. Women's pants have fake pockets, but baby pants, real pockets. Who decided this? And alarm clocks, designed purely to be annoying enough to drag you out of bed, yet we all willingly pay them tribute every morning. And phones. You check them nearly 100 times a day, rarely clean them, yet trust them more than anything else in your pocket. Life is basically one weird, tiny joke we're all participating in, and it's hilarious if you just notice it. Think about this. Every second, the Earth is in a place it has never been before and will never return to. That means the view from your window right now is completely unique in the history of the planet. Nobody ever has seen it exactly like this, and nobody ever will again. And while that's happening, the Sun is orbiting the center of the galaxy, and our entire Milky Way is slowly drifting toward Andromeda. So technically, even though you feel stationary, you're constantly moving through an unimaginably massive cosmic dance. Your life is a series of these tiny, almost imperceptible moments that, when added together, create something extraordinary. Every breath you take, every blink, every heartbeat, is a part of a process that's both routine and miraculous. And when you step back and connect all these facts, space, time, your body, human history, It's kind of insane to realize how small we are, yet how incredibly complex existence really is. Even simple things like clapping for someone's work or laughing at a joke are part of this bigger picture. Life is not just happening to you, you're participating in something vast, intricate, and utterly mind-blowing. And speaking of the weird little things in life, let's talk about the internet. It's amazing, right? Endless videos, games, information, basically the world at your fingertips. But here's the thing. With all that freedom comes risks. Phishing links, malware, hackers. There's a lot out there that can ruin your day, steal your data, or worse. That's where something like Surfshark comes in. Surfshark is a VPN that keeps you safe online, like an invisible shield around your data. It doesn't log anything you do, so your online actions stay private. You can even set your location to anywhere in the world, unlocking shows, movies, and content that might not be available where you live. And because it uses top-tier encryption, hackers and trackers don't stand a chance. Plus, it works on unlimited devices, so your phone, laptop, tablet, all of them are protected. And right now, there's a limited time offer, up to 83% off a 2-year plan, plus 3 extra months for free. Basically, it's like buying peace of mind for less than $2 a month. So while you're exploring the weird, fascinating world around you, make sure your digital world is just as safe. Surfshark keeps you protected while you do it, all without slowing you down. So after all of that, what's the takeaway? Life is weird. Existence is strange. Even the simplest things, breathing, blinking, walking, clapping, are actually these incredible tiny miracles that we take for granted every single day. Every moment you live is completely unique. Every second you spend is something that has never happened before and will never happen again. That's kind of mind-blowing when you stop and think about it. And the more you notice these little oddities, the more you realize just how fascinating the world is. A day in your life may feel ordinary, but in the grand scheme of the universe, it's extraordinary. The earth keeps spinning, the stars keep moving, and you are right there, participating in it all, even if you don't feel it. So maybe next time you're brushing your teeth, waiting for a bus, or staring out a window, pause for a second. Notice something small. Smile at a weird thought. Appreciate the tiny, bizarre details that make life so endlessly interesting. Because in the end, life is strange, beautiful, and completely yours to experience, and that's worth paying attention to.